Welcome to WONDRIA, your window into the world's hidden history. Today, we explore 10 of the most famous prisons ever built, places that held kings, revolutionaries, and criminals, and shaped the course of nations. Each cell tells a story of power, punishment, and survival. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to WONDRIA and turn on the bell. New stories are waiting every week. Now, let's open the gates to the world's most legendary prisons. Alcatraz, USA. Alcatraz, located on a small island in San Francisco Bay, is one of the most notorious prisons in the world. Opened in 1934 as a federal penitentiary, it housed some of America's most dangerous criminals, including Al Capone and George "Machine Gun" Kelly. The prison was designed to be inescapable, surrounded by cold, strong currents, and guarded around the clock. Despite several escape attempts, only a few inmates ever succeeded, and their fate remains a mystery. Alcatraz closed in 1963 due to high operating costs and deteriorating facilities, but it remains a symbol of the American penal system and attracts millions of visitors every year. Tower of London, United Kingdom.
The Tower of London is not only a royal palace, but also a historic prison. Dating back to the 11th century, it held high-profile prisoners such as Anne Boleyn, Guy Fawkes, and Elizabeth I before she became queen. Prisoners were often kept in harsh conditions, sometimes facing torture or execution. The tower's reputation as a place of fear and intrigue grew over centuries, making it an enduring symbol of medieval justice and political power. Today, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a popular tourist attraction, with stories of ghosts and legends adding to its mystique.
Bastille, France. The Bastille in Paris was a fortress turned prison, infamous for its role in pre-revolutionary France. Built in the 14th century, it initially defended the city, but later became a symbol of royal tyranny. Prisoners included political dissidents, intellectuals, and nobles. Its storming on July 14, 1789 marked the beginning of the French Revolution, and the fortress was demolished shortly after. The fall of the Bastille became a symbol of freedom and resistance against oppression.
Port Arthur, Australia.
Port Arthur, located in Tasmania, was a penal settlement for the British Empire during the 19th century. It was infamous for its harsh discipline, solitary confinement, and brutal punishments. Many convicts were transported here for minor crimes. The prison system emphasized moral reform, but conditions were extremely tough, with disease and harsh labor common. Today, Port Arthur is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a museum, preserving the grim history of Australia's penal past. Robben Island, South Africa.
Robben Island, near Cape Town, is most famous for holding political prisoners during apartheid. Nelson Mandela spent 18 of his 27 years of imprisonment here. Prisoners endured hard labor in limestone quarries under harsh conditions. The prison symbolized racial oppression, but also resilience and the fight for freedom. Robben Island is now a museum and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, reminding the world of the struggle against apartheid.
Hoa Lo Prison, Vietnam. Hoa Lo Prison in Hanoi, nicknamed the Hanoi Hilton by American prisoners of war, was used by the French colonialists and later during the Vietnam War. Originally built to hold Vietnamese political prisoners, it later housed U.S. pilots captured during the war. Prisoners endured poor living conditions, malnutrition, and torture. The prison reflects both colonial oppression and the hardships of wartime captivity. Today, it is a museum where visitors can learn about Vietnam's turbulent history.
Kilmainham Jail. Kilmainham Jail in Dublin was a key site in Irish history. It held leaders of Irish rebellions, including the 1916 Easter Rising. Executions were carried out inside, and the prison became a symbol of British oppression. The jail's architecture reflected the grim Victorian penal system, with cold cells and harsh discipline. Now, it is a museum where visitors learn about Ireland's struggle for independence. Eastern State Penitentiary, USA.
Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, opened in 1829, introduced a revolutionary system of incarceration. Prisoners were kept in solitary confinement to encourage reflection and reform. Famous gangster Al Capone was imprisoned here. The system was harsh, and many inmates suffered mental breakdowns. Its Gothic architecture and history make it one of America's most studied and visited historic prisons.
Old Melbourne Jail, Australia.
The Old Melbourne Jail, operating from 1845 to 1929, held some of Australia's most infamous criminals. Notorious bushranger Ned Kelly was executed here in 1880. Prisoners endured strict discipline, hard labor, and poor living conditions. The jail reflects colonial justice and the harsh treatment of criminals in 19th century Australia. Today, it serves as a museum, showcasing Australia's penal history.
Elmina Castle, Dana.
Elmina Castle, built by the Portuguese in 1482, is one of the oldest European-built forts in Africa. It served as a trading post and a prison during the transatlantic slave trade. Prisoners were held in dark, cramped dungeons before being shipped to the Americas. Elmina Castle represents the horrors of slavery and European colonialism. Now, it is a museum and UNESCO World Heritage Site, educating visitors about this dark chapter of history. These 10 prisons tell stories of power, fear, and resilience. From political prisoners to notorious gangsters, each place shaped history in its own way. History teaches us about justice, cruelty, and the human spirit. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe to WONDRIA and click the bell to never miss a story from the past. Join us next time as we explore more hidden corners of history.